Can we please stand up and welcome our guest with all claps? I welcome all the dignitaries with the loving hearts of all present here. I humbly request the dignitaries to kindly grace the dais. Thank you. अतिथि देव बनकर आप पधारे, स्वागत हो स्वीकार। अतिथि देव बनकर आप पधारे, स्वागत हो स्वीकार। द्वार आप हमारे आ गए, सहज लुटाते प्यार। साधन कम पर भाव विहल है, साधन कम पर भाव विहल है। स्वागत हो श्रीमान, आशा है स्वीकार करेंगे स्नेह सुमन का हार। With these words, I, Dr. Shruti, on behalf of Priyadarshini JL College of Engineering, Nagpur, takes the pleasure to welcome you all to the International Conference on Innovation in Technology, Engineering, Science and Humanities for Sustainable Development 2020-22. And to enhance the majesty of the conference, we have Chief Guest of today's program, Honorable Dr. Prashant Maheshwari, Dean, Science and Technology, RTM, Nagpur University. Keynote speaker of today's event, Mr. Nipun Kurodhi, Senior Manager, Audible Magic, California, USA. Conference Chair and Principal, Priyadarshini JL College of Engineering, Dr. Abhay Shinde. Convener of the conference, Dr. Kavita Gaur, and all esteemed HODs, learned professors, invited delegates, and research scholars. A very warm welcome to all. As per the Indian tradition, हर शुभ कार्य का आरंभ दीप प्रज्वलन विधि से किया जाता है and for the same may I invite all the dignitaries for lamp lighting ceremony. Please sir. दीप ज्योति परब्रह्म दीप ज्योति जनार्दना दीपो में हरातु पापम दीप ज्योतिर नमस्तुते. Meaning, the light of lamp represent Supreme Brahma, the light of lamp represent Janardana, the light of lamp removes all sins. Salutations to the light of the lamp. I also request dignitaries. I also request excellencies to offer prayers and garland to Goddess Saraswati. We pray Ma Saraswati for lifelong blessings and leading us towards the path of knowledge and integrity. Thank you, Excellencies. I humbly request all the dignitaries to take their places on the dais. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, during this time of pandemic, one thing everybody has noticed, and that our world has changed a bit. We have witnessed the importance of technology, science, and humanities in our life. We can say here, our globe has geared up to adopt new skills, new technologies, innovations, and philosophy. So with this note, ICITESHD-22 is here to provide a wide platform for both the display of latest research and for exchange of research, results, and thoughts for betterment of mankind. For this, ladies and gentlemen, we have along with us a very promising personality, Dr. Prashant Maheshwari, Dean, Science and Technology, RTM Nagpur University, as a chief guest for this inaugural ceremony. So, here I request Dr. Abhay Shinde, Principal, Priyadarshini JL College of Engineering and Conference Chair to extend a warm welcome to Honorable Dr. Prashant Maheshwari, sir. Thank you, sir. We welcome you, sir, with the loving hearts of all present here. I also request Principal, sir, to felicitate sir with a shawl and shriffle as a token of respect and honor, and thank you, sir, and memento as a token of remembrance. And with a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. I request dignitaries to wave up their feet and please grace the dais once again. Friends, to enhance the decorum of this function, we have with us virtual presence of Mr. Nipun Korote, Senior Manager, Audible Magic, California, USA. We offer our digital welcome to you, sir. Thank you for joining with us. Further, I request Dr. Kavita Gaur, ma'am, convener of the conference, to please give most cordial welcome to respected Dr. Abhay Shinde, sir, Principal, Priyadarshini JL College of Engineering and Conference Chair, ICITESHD-22. Thank you, ma'am. Here, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Here I request Professor Raki Kashikar to offer a courteous welcome to Dr. Kavita Gaur, Convener, ICITESHD-22. We welcome you, ma'am. Thank you, Raki, ma'am. Henry Ford says, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, working together is a success. With this idea, our conference aims at promoting scientific information, interchange between researchers, developers, engineers, students working in and around the world. May I now request Dr. Kavita Gaur, Convener, ICITESHD-22, to kindly enlighten us with her introductory speech. Please, ma'am.
Illuminatories on the dais, Honorable Dr. Prashant Maheshwari Sir, Dean, Science and Technology, RTM Nagpur University, Nagpur. Honorable Nipun Korote, Senior Manager, Audible Magic, California. Honorable Dr. A.M. Shinde, Principal, Priyadarshini College of Engineering. Delegates, heads of various departments, higher engineering coordinator, faculty members, students, and supporting staff. Very good morning to one and all. At the outset of this program, I welcome all the dignitaries on the dais and delegates in International Conference, Innovation in Technology, Engineering, Science and Humanities for Sustainable Development. In this conference, 200 delegates are joining from different parts of India and different university, Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan University, Bhopal, Gondwana University, Gadchiroli, Sant Gadge Maharaj University, Amravati, RTM different colleges of Nagpur University, Yavatmal College, BITS Pilani, and many more. The theme of the conference is based on sustainable goal, and it is adopted by United Nations in 2015 to make this planet more green and clean and to ensure peace and prosperity in the whole world. The sustainability concept consists three important parts. One is environmental conservation, very important issue. Second is social responsibility. And third is economic development. Keeping all these points, we have decided the theme of this conference and very good response from different stream of the engineering as well as basic science and humanities. My dear delegates, you are joining via online as well as offline mode because we have decided the conference in virtual mode. That's why the delegates from the other colleges are joining via live stream on YouTube and Zoom meeting. In this conference, basically, we got the research paper which is directly connected with the theme, like how we can recycle the waste with the use of reactors. Then we got the papers how we can use the solar cell in the refrigeration for vaccination. We got many more papers based on how we can use the biomedical waste or ash in concrete to make a good product. So quality of the paper is very good and they are going to publish in the journal. Water, air and food, these are the key factors of the sustainable goal. So these are the important area for the innovations. We have seen many hybrid vehicles are running on the road. They are just cleaning the environment and they are need of the day. So air pollution is less, gases are less, pollutants are less. Recycling of the plastic is another important area. Almost 240 ton plastic is generated per year in the globe. Only 60% plastic is recycled. So there is need to input more. Either we can go for the recycling of the plastic or we can provide some other solution like biodegradable polymer which are very much sustainable and eco-friendly for the environment. Another area is how we can reduce the CO2 from the environment. Because CO2 is responsible for global warming, this is also conversion of CO2 at source at industrial level is the challenging process. Usage of the renewable sources of energy is important criteria because conventional sources are very much limited and after certain time we will not get the conventional sources of the energy. They are also contaminating our environment. So need of the new sources of the energy is really requirement for the coming generation. So in this way, the delegates can interact at this platform in this particular area. They can exchange their ideas in the learning process and hope so this platform will be good for all the delegates, researchers and industry persons, those who are joining via online and offline mode. And happy learning on 4th and 5th March. All the best, all the delegates and other dignitaries, those who have joined the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. It was indeed very informative. Thank you so much. A leader is one who shows the way, who goes the way, and who builds the way. The one who is working hard for the name and fame of this institution. One who is the mind behind this fabulous event. May I request Dr. Abhay Shende sir, Principal, Priyadarshini JL College of Engineering and Conference Chair ICITESHD-22 to brief us about college and conference. Please, sir.
Thank you, Shruti. Chief guest of today's program, Honorable Dr. Prashant Maheshwari sir, Dean Science and Technology, RTM, Nagpur University. Role model in the hearts of many, including me, my mentor, my guide, my elder brother. Whenever I meet sir, personally or on phone calls, every time I learn something new from sir. Sir, I still remember the international conference we organized in 2002, and sir worked very meticulously in that conference, and each and every minute point he minutely noted out. और सबसे बड़ी खासियत बात, हमारे जैसे न्यूकमर्स 20-22 साल के पहले we asked very blunder questions, even though उतने आत्मीयता से सर उसका आंसर देते थे और इतने आत्मीय आते with very cool mind. सर ये आपसे सीखने की मैंने कोशिश की है, and I am quite fortunate कि I am associated with sir from last 20 to 23 years. मुझे तो लगता है कि these 2 lines is made for sir only, because a self committed person मैंने देखा है, ना पूछो कि मंजिल क्या है, ना पूछो कि मंजिल क्या है, अभी तो बस सफर का इरादा किया है, ना हारेंगे हौसला उम्र भर का, किसी और से नहीं खुद से ये वादा किया है, किसी और से नहीं खुद से ये वादा किया है. A self-committed person. So thank you. I welcome you to Priyadarshini JL College of Engineering campus, and your presence itself is a motivation, encouragement and blessing for me and all for my delegates. Thank you for coming. Another dignitary, Dr. Kavita Gaur, convener of this conference and Dean first year. Another dignitary who joined online from USA. Very good evening, Nipun sir. मुझे लगता है आप मुझे सुन रहे होंगे. वेरी गुड इवनिंग. ही इज अ सीनियर मैनेजर फ्रॉम सिलिकॉन वैली, एंड आफ्टर दिस इनॉग्रल ही इज गोइंग टू प्रेजेंट a keynote address on blockchain technology, advanced technology. Convener, that organizing secretary of today's program, Dr. Sudhi Patle, doing very nice anchoring. Dignitary of the dais, Dr. Anjali Kadam, IQC coordinator, Dr. Vijaya Balpande, head computer science and engineering and artificial intelligence. Dr. Ajay Mende, head electrical engineering. Dr. Gulfam Patan, head civil engineering. Dr. Praveen Pokre, head electronics and telecommunication engineering. Dr. Ajit Saw, head training and placement, assistant registrar, esteemed faculty members and dear students. Very good morning to all. Again, this is not voice of my student. Very good morning to all. Yes, that's it. So, today is the inaugural of our conference, Innovation in Technology, Engineering, Science, Humanities for Sustainable Development. Friends, I will take very proper keyword of that international conference, that is Sustainable Development 2020. SD-22 we called. SD-2020 we say for this conference, because you all aware United Nations called or appealed to all countries to become all the countries to be sustainable developed up to 2030. Yes. And this conference is a small steps towards that sustainable development, to make our students aware what is sustainable development. I congratulate convener of today's program, Dr. Kavita Gaur, organizing secretary, Dr. Sudhi Patle, and whole team of this SD 2022 for selecting such an important topic. Yes. And again, the organizer give the opportunity to, as in Madam's speech, she already mentioned, 200 delegates participate in this conference. It's really a big achievement. Yes. Please give big round of applause for Madam and organizing team. They gave a platform to 200 delegates to share their ideas. And friends, you all know, yes, friends, you all know an idea can change our life. Yes, an idea can change our life. And then, for the sustainable development, to fulfill that agenda in 2030, we have 17 goals which is given. On the basis of that 17 goals, it is only possible to fulfill that sustainable development 2030. So which are those 17 goals? Yes, no poverty. All the persons, जो persons available, all the common being, they should have minimum. No poverty means, what is the meaning of that? They can fulfill all their basic needs. उनके basic needs तो fulfill कर सके. Another goal is zero hunger. We reach up to that level कि हमारे देश का कोई भी person भूखा नहीं सोए. So what is important in that to achieve the sustainable development is the 17 goals which definitely reach up to that agenda of sustainable development. No poverty, zero goals, and most important, quality education. Yes, we directly deal with that quality education because we belongs to professional college. Yes, sir, I am happy to share that our academic results are always within a third in RTM Nagpur University. And I am proudly said that from last 7 years, our civil and computer science and engineering results stood first at university level. Yes. But when you're talking regarding quality education, academic is not enough. Yes, academic is not enough. And for that, we work on 360-degree development of our student. And for that, academic, curriculum enrichment, capability enhancement, and force activity goes hand in hand. Then and then that quality education is possible. And friends, you are quite fortunate because our Honorable VC is a very learned person. Already he converted BE degree to BTech. Honorable Dean Prashant Maheshwari sir, he is very keen of quality in education. He already applied ICT exam reform 2018, totally based on outcome-based education. And I am proudly said that आप जो बच्चे यहाँ पे बैठे हो उनको भी proud feel होना चाहिए. Our university is the only university in Maharashtra who already apply new education policy in university. And it is only happened due to the chief guest of today's program, Dr. Prashant Maheshwari sir. Sir, thank you for that. You always a quality cautious. Apart from that, I am not taking the 17 goals, but I take some highlights of that. No poverty, zero hunger, quality education. Then for good health, we always organize the sports activity. Apart from that, clean air, affordable energy, clean land, below ground water. Sir, I want to, again from this dais, I want to share something that our college, we already started the sustainable development activity in our college. We have rainwater harvesting in our college campus to improve the groundwater table. At the same time, we apply solar panel of 81 kVA in our college, which fulfill our all energy requirement. And for clean air, student and you all witness the greenery in our campus and the lush green campus. हमारा खुद का खत हम मैन्योर we prepared in our college पेड़ के देने के लिए for compost. And then apart from that, clean air and this. So recently we received ISO 14001 for environmental management and ISO 15001 for energy management is clearly indicate that our campus is a very less CO2 emulsions in our campus, which is in permissible limit. So now friends, when we know the importance of sustainable development and United Nations already give the alarm up to 2030, all the countries should be sustainable development. Now it's a prime duty of each and every citizen of our Indian to contribute in this noble cause. Otherwise क्या होगा बच्चों पता है आपको इन नेक्स्ट जनरेशन इन फ्यूचर जनरेशन के लिए कोई भी नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज अवेलेबल नहीं रहेंगे एंड फॉर दैट वो हमको कभी माफ नहीं कर पाएंगे. अगर हमने नेक्स्ट जनरेशन के लिए नेचुरल रिसोर्स नहीं रखे हमको माफ करेंगे क्या हो नहीं. सो फॉर दैट सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इसलिए अपने देश को बोल्ड करने के लिए आपके देश के प्रति हमारा कंट्रीब्यूशन होना चाहिए. फॉर दैट यू प्लीज ज्वाइन दिस नोबल क्लॉज. और बहुत ही सुंदर लाइन के साथ आई एंड माय स्पीच कि हो गई है पीर, पीर यानी कष्ट, हो गई है पीर पर्वत से पिघलनी चाहिए, इस हिमालय से कोई गंगा निकलनी चाहिए. सिर्फ हंगामा खड़ा करना मेरा मकसद नहीं, सिर्फ हंगामा खड़ा करना मेरा मकसद नहीं, सारी कोशिश है कि ये सूरत बदलनी चाहिए. मेरे सीने में नहीं तो तेरे सीने में सही, मेरे सीने में नहीं तो तेरे सीने में सही, हो कहीं भी आग लेकिन देश सेवा की आग होनी चाहिए, देश सेवा की आग होनी चाहिए. विद दिस I welcome you all for this international conference. To all the students and delegates who joined from over all the nations, welcome again and thank you very much. Wish you all the best for your paper presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It's always pleasure listening you. Friends, Priyadarshini GL College of Engineering unceasingly take efforts to motivate and promote the young researchers and best of research work. With this vision, distinguished ideas and articles are clubbed under a single frame. So, at this moment, I humbly request the dignitaries on the dais to kindly release proceedings of the conference ICITESHD-22. Can we have the proceedings, please? The ICITESHD-2022 proceedings contains the research ideas and insights of various distinguished minds in the broad area of engineering, science, and humanities. Through these proceedings, research scholars have presented their research work with the intention to get input from other researchers and colleagues in their field. And we are happy to share that these research articles are further going to publish in our reputed journals. Thank you, Excellencies, for doing the honor. Friends, if you take a closer look to the journey of the star personalities You will come across the hard work, perseverance, pioneering spirit, and willingness. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about our chief guest today, who is a living atom of the high intellect, dedicated academician, powerful leader, coupled with an impressive background. Now, none other than I'm talking about Dr. Prashant Maheshwari, sir. It's my proud privilege to put forward his brief introduction in front of you all, with sir permissions. Okay, so Dr. Maheshwari is Dean, Science and Technology, RTM Nagpur University. Formerly, he was Director of Jaydev Education Society, Nagpur, which runs JD College of Engineering and Management and JD Polytechnic in Nagpur. He is Professor, MTech, Professor in Mechanical Engineering. He is double doctorate in Mechanical Engineering. First PhD from University Institute of Technology, RGVP, Bhopal, in the specialization of machine designing. Second PhD is from Nagpur University, RTM Nagpur University, in the specialization of thermal energy. Thank you. Sir has pursued his MTech from VNIT. He has recipient of IST Best Engineering College Teacher of Maharashtra State 2019 award by the chairman of AICTE. He has also received IST Best Principal Polytechnic of Maharashtra State 2020 award. He has total experience of 34 years in teaching and administration. He has filed and published 10 patents, 35 research papers in International Journal of Repute, international and national conference. He also has authored 3 books and 3 book chapters in engineering subject. With this, Sir has administrated and administering various responsibilities such as Associate Dean Academics, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technology University, Maharashtra from May 2020, Editor of Science Journal of RTM Nagpur University from 2020, Chairman Board of Studies Industrial Robotics RTM Nagpur University from 2018 onward, Member Board of Studies in Mechanical Engineering of RTM Nagpur University from 2018 onwards, Member Board of Studies in Mechanical Engineering of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technology University from 2018 onward, Chairman Board of Studies Mechanical Engineering RTM Nagpur University, and the list is very long, and as Sir is saying that I can brief here, so with the Sir's permission, I'm briefing my, Sir's introduction here, and I will invite Sir to grace the dais, please. Please, sir.
As all the learned teachers sitting here are aware, the students wearing the badges or the logo of the college also know that this institution belongs to Lokmanya Tilak Jan Kalyan Shikshan Sanstha. And there are 4 more colleges in the University of Nagpur now which are merged into one. So one and these 2, there are 3 colleges, earlier 5, which belong to the Lokmanya Tilak Jan Kalyan Shikshan Sanstha. And as I worked for 15 long years into this Sanstha, and whatever appreciation which my younger brother, Dr. ICITESHD-22, Madam Shruti Patle, told about me, is because of the chairman, Sri ICITESHSD-22, Secretary Madam Abha Chaturvedi, Director Governing Board Sri Dushyantji-22, and Sheetal Madam. Sheetal Madam joined, of course, late. But then these are the people who are responsible for my growth into the Lokmanya Tilak Jan Kalyan Shikshan Sanstha's Priyadarshini College of Engineering and Architecture then. But the influence on my work is being done greatly by my friends like Professor Abhay Shende, Kavita Gaur Madam, and my friend and younger brother Pathan sir, and my daughter like Anjali, whom I have seen growing every day as my student. And I am very proud teacher to say that I have given birth to a student who matches with the standards these days, benchmark these days, and I'm really proud to have such students, and I have many such students. Maybe I was never a good student, but then I'm fortunate to have all good students. I know these 6 girls standing here are meant for making the speaker nervous, you know. They are continuously looking at the speaker. You are all looking at the speaker. I do not know whether Abhay has intentionally done it or they themselves tried to be here. Anyways, thank you so much for improving my patience and my strength. So, Lokmanya Tilak ji was a great leader of the state of Maharashtra. We all know Maharashtra is known by Tilak ji. And not only Maharashtra, because Lokmanya ji, Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Shivaji Maharaj, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, somehow I do not know, but have been limited to the state of Maharashtra, which is a very sad story. Whereas these were the leaders of the national stature and international stature. They were the main reasons, pivotal for getting us freed from the trap of the Britishers. And therefore, before I start, I would like to say 2 lines. Lokmanya Tilak ji के, बाल गंगाधर तिलक जी के सम्मान में 2 लाइन बोलकर मैं फिर अपना उद्बोधन आगे बढ़ाऊंगा और आप लोगों को भी एड्रेस करूंगा. किसी को भी न था उसके कद का अंदाजा. You have heard yesterday. Because yesterday also I was in one of the Lokmanya Tilak Jan Kalyan Shikshan Sanstha's institute. किसी को भी न था उसके कद का अंदाजा. You have also heard. किसी को भी न था उसके कद का अंदाजा. वो आसमां था फिर भी सर झुका के चलता था. And this is applicable to all great leaders of the country. Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Rashtrapita Mahatma Gandhi, Subhash Chandra Bose, Veer Savarkar, Bhagat Singh, list is endless. आज हम जो ये स्वतंत्रता का आनंद ले रहे हैं, ये सब उन लोगों के कारण है. इसलिए कोशिश करिए कि थोड़ा बहुत उनके जैसा बन सकें. किसी को नर्वस करने की कोशिश ना करें, एटलीस्ट प्रमोट करें उसको. So the learned principal of the college, Priyadarshini Jail Chaturvedi College of Engineering, the convener of the international conference, respected teachers in the audience, my dear students, participants and delegates joined online, and these 6 girls, a very good morning to all of you. हाँ, तो आपको थोड़ा सुनते रहना पड़ेगा. This is known as literary ragging. So, the college, amongst the 5 colleges of the Lokmanya Tilak Jan Kalyan Shikshan Sanstha, I am seeing, with reference to age of this college, you will not believe that the 3 colleges, Jail Chaturvedi College of Engineering, Bhagwati Chaturvedi College of Engineering and Priyadarshini Indira Gandhi, these are the 3 colleges. When started, the responsibility was given to me by the Honorable Chairman, Sri Satishji Chaturvedi, that you should see to it that we get the letter of intent, letter of approval from the AICT. The committee visits successfully, and hence I consider that I am a joint owner of this baby. Yes. I am not asking any share out of it. I am a joint owner of this baby, and therefore, when I see that this baby is in very, very safe hands, that is in the hands of my brother Abhay, then I really get pleased like anything. अपना बच्चा किसी के हाथ में सुरक्षित है, भले ही वो संयुक्त प्रॉपर्टी है, लेकिन किसी के हाथ में सुरक्षित है, ये देख के जो आनंद महसूस होता है माता पिता को या जॉइंट प्रॉपर्टी ओनर को, वही आनंद आज मुझे महसूस हो रहा है. एंड अभय, थैंक यू सो मच for taking care of this institution so well that everybody under your leadership is more than happy. I can see the faces. Otherwise, these days, if you go to some colleges and see the faces of the teachers, you just get reminded, oh, Baba, इनकी सैलरी नहीं हो रही होगी, या तो कम हो रही होगी, पेंडेमिक है, 50% दे रहे होंगे, 25% दे रहे होंगे. Whatever are the situations, I have seen this college stood. The teachers and the students of this college stood with their leader. And leader is leader only when the followers are there, you know. If the followers are not there, what for I am leader? अकेला मैदान में तलवार चलाने से क्या फ़ायदा जब मेरी तलवार का कौशल देखने के लिए कोई नहीं। तो इतनी सुंदर शिक्षक एवं शिक्षिकाएं, इतने सुंदर विद्यार्थी, इतने सुंदर सपोर्टिंग स्टाफ और उन सबसे सुंदर, उनको सबको सुंदर बनाने वाला प्राचार्य, डीन, who also happens to be the convener, madam, you are organizing secretary? Yes, organizing secretary. So why this conference will not be successful when such illustrious, dedicated people are there in this campus? I can see this hall, I can see the entire campus where the posters giving very good messages are there. The chamber of the learned principal speaks a lot about his work. The media presence which he has compiled. See, हमको मीडिया की 10 न्यूज़ लगा के रखना है तो एक फाइल में भी रख सकते हैं. पंच करो लगाओ, पंच करो लगाओ, एक पंच ऊपर है, एक पंच नीचे, कोई भी पेजेस साइज में मिल नहीं रहे. So if you got an opportunity, very good. But then the students who did not get the opportunity to see that a single, see, media presence एक item है, but then the message क्या है उसके पीछे. So if you see that bound, spiral bound book of the media presence, then it not only speaks about the presence of the media and the activeness of the leader of the college, it also speaks that how disciplined, how systematic, how consistent the leader is. Even that simple spiral bound book shows that. And that is what you students have to learn out of it. अब ये शिक्षक तो हम सब इतना सीख चुके हैं कि अब कोई इच्छा ही नहीं शेष रही है हमारे अंदर. तो अब सीखना किसको है? आपको. देश का भविष्य आप हो. हम लोग तो क्या बोलते हैं कि भूतकाल से भी पीछे चले गए, है ना. सो दिस इज व्हाट इज यू हैव टू लर्न. विद दिस आई एक्सटेंड माय सिंसियर थैंक्स टू ऑल ऑफ यू फॉर calling me here, considering me eligible to be the chief guest of today's function. I am really grateful and thankful to all of you. और आपने 4 शब्द जो मेरे प्रेम से सुने, इससे उत्साहित होकर आगे के 10-15 मिनट और आपसे लेने की कोशिश करूंगा. और वो that is my favorite topic, that is research matrix. Because the theme of the international conference is innovation in technology, and a part of innovation is the research. Research leads to innovation. And that is what I am going to speak on. I know that the students sitting here, and then I will get an opportunity to go away from these guys. Okay, I will be standing there. So nervousness will reduce. So the students who are present here may not understand some of the terminologies of what I am speaking. But remember, वो आपके कानों में एक बार पड़ जाएंगी, और जब आप फाइनल ईयर में पहुंचेंगे, 7th 8th सेमेस्टर में पहुंचेंगे, अपनी थीसिस बनाएंगे, उस वक्त आपको ये मेरी कही हुई बातें बहुत याद आएंगी. और उस पर आप जब काम करेंगे तो आपको समझेगा व्हाट लेवल ऑफ क्लैरिटी इट इज. ओके, सो thank you so much. So this is 10:30. I will try to finish this within 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. But then I understand that the teachers sitting here will definitely understand it, and students will be understanding it partially. And please be attentive. Students, please be attentive. So, nahi, garaz nahi. The topic is research matrix. Research matrix is a tool to measure the performance. And what is research matrix? Next, research matrix has 2 important elements. Research matrix are of 2 types, journal level research matrix and the author level research matrix. इसके पीछे की भूमिका क्या है कि we publish the research articles, review articles into the international conferences as the other delegates are presenting. We present them into the peer-reviewed journal, to which we call Scopus Index journals, Science Citation Index journals, Web of Science journals. These are all publishers. So when we publish the research papers, then how your evaluation as an author is done by the third party when you appear for the interview, or when you put forth your proposal for funding to central government funding agencies and at many more places. Similarly, it's not that only one who is presenting the research paper, his performance will be seen, but the journals wherein the research articles are published, even the performance of such research article even will be seen. Such journals even will be seen. And then why should journals' performance be checked? Because if Anjali has to publish a paper, she has a very good research work done. If she has to publish a research paper, then she should know that what are the best journals in which I should I should present my paper. She has certain keywords of her journal, she will type the keyword there, and then she will find a list of journals, maybe 1,000 journal on the keyword, 3, 4, 5 keywords she is putting into the website. Maybe this Elsewhere, Scopus, or Springer, or Taylor and Francis, सब जगह paper ढूंढने की एक तरीका है. Then out of these 700 journals which she found related to her keywords, in which journal she should present the paper? In which journal she should present the paper? यहाँ तो 5 journal सामने आ जाए तकलीफ आ जाती है भाई किस पे publish करें? 700. Then we see that what is that tool which gives us the performance index of the journal, which guides me as a researcher, which guides me as an author of a research article or review article, that in which paper I should present my research paper, and that is what I am going to explain you here. Then next one is author matrix, another is journal matrix, and both the matrix are very, very important. If Professor Shende has to select one teacher as Associate Dean Research and Development, then whatever research portfolio that teacher is, those candidates presenting before him, how should he be able to judge the performance in the research of that teacher who has come for the post of Associate Dean Research? How will he come to know? How will I come to know? That is what is the research matrix. Matrix तो आपने बहुत सुना होगा मैथमेटिक्स में, हाँ, उसमें रिसर्च लगा दीजिए. Okay, next. Assert your value, how much valuable you are. Okay, that is the author matrix. Benchmark your career progress. Where did you reach compared to your peer? If Anjali has published 3 research papers in Science Citation Index, Professor Gulfam has published 4 papers in Scopus Index Journal, then who is better? 3 papers in SCI or 4 papers in Scopus Index Journals? Very good. So that is what is, and how did you understand this? Because somebody has told you that how can you measure the performance of the research in terms of the journals published in what type of, in terms of the articles published in what type of journals, with which publisher? Journals का कोई publisher होता है. Elsewhere is a publisher. Taylor and Francis is a publisher. IEEE Explore is a publisher. And they have n number of journals with them. American Society of Civil Engineers, American Society of Mechanical Engineers are the publishers, and they have Institution of Engineers India is a publisher. They have many numbers of journals in their portfolio. As she rightly said, that who has more important papers. Even I feel one SCI research paper, one SCI article is more than 5 scopus. जो रिव्यू आता है ना ऑथर की तरफ से, तोड़ देते हैं व्यक्ति को, नए सिरे से रिसर्च करनी पड़ती है, ऐसे रिव्यूज आते हैं. रिव्यू के जो रिमार्क्स आते हैं 3 एक्सपर्ट्स के पास से, रिव्यूअर के पास से. सो एंड कम्युनिकेट मोर इफेक्टिवली, लाइक यू सेड, देन यू विल, her 3 research papers are communicating to you. Her 3 research papers, she need not to communicate to everybody the moment she writes, and the moment the teacher sitting here, the audience sitting here know that the 3 research papers in SCI have been published by Professor Mrs. Anjali Kadu, then you need not to explain anybody who is Anjali Kadu. As far as the research is concerned, as far as her research mindset is concerned, फिर कोई परिचय की आवश्यकता नहीं है, अगर हम रिसर्च देख रहे हैं तो, है ना, लेकिन हम वो छोड़ के सब देखते हैं. नेक्स्ट, द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ यूजिंग रिसर्च मैट्रिक्स, जैसे मैंने अभी बताया, फॉर रिसर्चर मैट्रिक्स कैन हेल्प टू चूज द जर्नल फॉर पब्लिकेशन एंड असेस द ऑनगोइंग इम्पैक्ट ऑफ एन इंडिविजुअल पीस ऑफ रिसर्च. कौन सा जर्नल सेलेक्ट करना, वो जर्नल सेलेक्ट करके अगर मेरा पेपर पब्लिश हो गया तो उसका इम्पैक्ट मेरे एकेडमिक प्रोफाइल पे क्या होगा. देन फॉर जर्नल एडिटर्स, journal matrix, researcher, author matrix. It can help to assess journal standing in the community, raise your journal's profile, and support growth in high quality submission. She has published the 3 research papers when she has the accessibility to the 10 journals wherein his research article would have been published. She has selected one. On what basis? And therefore, if I am having the impactful journal, मैं आपको आगे बताऊंगा, then I will get more researchers putting in quality articles into my journal. जर्नल को भी बिकना है ना, जर्नल भी मार्केट में बेचे जाएंगे ना, रेवेन्यू जनरेट करते हैं। ये पब्लिशर जो है ये कोई रिसर्च के लिए नहीं कर रहे हैं, ये दे वांट टू अर्न। एक पेपर डाउनलोड करने का मैडम आपको मालूम होगा, दे टेक $35, देन ओनली यू कैन डाउनलोड वन रिसर्च पेपर। एक व्यक्ति एक रिसर्च पेपर डाउनलोड कर रहा है, ऐसे हजारों व्यक्ति वो एक रिसर्च पेपर को डाउनलोड करते होंगे क्योंकि उसके साइटेशंस ज्यादा है, कितने पैसे कमाते हैं। देन दे सेल द जर्नल्स इन lakhs of rupees to the libraries. Therefore, increasing the quality value of the product in the market, that is journal, is the responsibility of the editor of that journal. And then the librarians, of course, librarian हमारे पास बजट है, हम कोई गवर्नमेंट एजेंसी तो नहीं है, सेल्फ फाइनेंसिंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं, वी हैव अ लिमिटेड बजट। इन दैट लिमिटेड बजट, एज प्रोफेसर शिंदे ऑलवेज डज, छोटे से बजट में कितना बड़ा आवाज किया जाए, कितनी बड़ी क्वालिटी लेवल की पब्लिकेशन, क्वालिटी लेवल की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की जाए, कॉन्फ्रेंस की जाए, द सेम वी ऑल्सो हैव टू डू। सो लाइब्रेरियन मस्ट नो इट। Ask the librarian what is the journal matrix and what is the author matrix. I am very sorry to say, majority of the librarians do not know. Is librarian present here? Okay, it's good. Next. नहीं तो मेरे को sorry बोल के जाना पड़ता था. See, these are the journal impact matrix. And remember, there are two big names, Elsevier and Web of Science. The Scopus is a product of Elsevier, and Web of Science is itself a database agency. So these two are the database agency. हमको ये समझना बहुत जरूरी है कि database agency, journal, indexing agencies and publisher ये क्या होते हैं. Many times we have a confusion that Web of Science is a publisher. No, Web of Science is not a publisher. Scopus is a publisher. No, Scopus is not a publisher. Elsevier is a publisher. Taylor and Francis is a publisher. Springer is a publisher. ASME is a publisher. IEEE is a publisher. These are indexing agencies which index your paper. हमको 2 पेपर वेब ऑफ साइंस में अगर आपके होंगे तो हम आपको रिसर्च PhD सुपरवाइजर का अप्रूवल देंगे. Just on the lighter side, we had a condition in the direction number 27 of 2021 for the approval of the PhD supervisor, and we called the applications कि भाई if you want to become PhD supervisor, one of the conditions is there your minimum 2 research papers should have been published in the Scopus Index Journal. So it was to my surprise that I have seen the research papers of one of the applicant. He has published the research paper in the journal named as Scopus. अभी भी बहुत लोगों को समझ में नहीं है. मतलब स्कोपस क्या है? इंडेक्सिंग एजेंसी है. तो हमने बोला ये जो इंडेक्सिंग एजेंसी स्कोपस है, इसने इंडेक्स किए हुए जो जर्नल होंगे, जैसे नैक ने या NBA ने एक्रेडिट किए हुए जो कॉलेजेस होंगे, उन कॉलेजेस में मैं एडमिशन लूंगा. वैसे ही स्कोपस ने इंडेक्स किए हुए जो जर्नल होंगे, वो जर्नल में मैं पेपर एक्सेप्ट करूंगा. तो उन्होंने क्या किया? स्कोपस चाहिए ना, उन्होंने एक स्कोपस नाम का फेक जर्नल बनाया और उसमें बता दिया कि हमारा पेपर ही स्कोपस जर्नल में है सर, आप इंडेक्सिंग की क्या बात करते हो. एंड देन आई गॉट रिविलेशन yesterday when I was listening to one of the sessions of Digital University, wherein the Honorable Vice Chancellor of the Anna University was present. He was saying that 27% of the research articles published in India are in fake journals. तो हमें इसके ऊपर अपन कोई किसी की बुराई नहीं कर रहे हैं ना. 27 में मतलब मैं भी एक आधी बार आ गया होऊंगा तो क्या मालूम. सो वी हैव टू ओवरकम ऑल दिस. वी हैव टू गो अहेड लिविंग ऑल दिस एंड वी हैव टू सी दैट द क्वालिटी ऑफ जर्नल इज रिटेन्ड. आपके रिसर्च आर्टिकल रिटेन्ड. और आजकल इंटरव्यू में हम जा रहे हैं ना तो ये चीजें बहुत पूछ रहे हैं. द टाइम हैज चेंज्ड. अर्लियर वी यूज्ड टू गेट द डॉक्टरल रिसर्च डिग्री only by showing them that these 2 papers we have published, type written, ऊपर में जर्नल का नाम वगैरह कुछ डाल दो, नीचे पेज नंबर डाल दो, accepted. धीरे धीरे UGC केयर आ गया, फिर UGC आया, UGC केयर लिस्टेड आ गया, स्कोपस इंडेक्स्ड आ गया, SCI आ गया, वेब ऑफ साइंस आ गया, अब पेटेंट पूछने लगे. ओके, सो दिस इज द वे वी आर गोइंग एट. तो आपको भी रेगुलेटिंग एजेंसी से एक कदम आगे रह के वो काम करना है जो वो 2 साल बाद पूछने वाले. So the Web of Science journal impact matrix is previous, please. Journal impact factor, 5-year journal impact factor, immediacy index, IGENT factor, cited half value. Scopus का journal matrix अलग है. So Scopus is site score, शिमेको जर्नल रैंकिंग, सोर्स नॉर्मलाइज्ड इम्पैक्ट पर पेपर, फील्ड वेटेड साइटेड इम्पैक्ट. अपन ये सब नहीं ले सकते, अपने पास इतना टाइम नहीं है. आई हैव अ मीटिंग एट 12. So we will take only journal impact factor, immediacy index and site score. Remember, site score is of the Scopus indexed agency and impact factor and immediacy index is of Web of Science. Web of Science is stricter than the Scopus. In Web of Science, the articles and the review articles are only considered for the citations. Whereas in Scopus, in addition to article and review article, they consider the papers published in the proceedings, book chapter, data paper even they consider. So the stricter benchmarking is of Web of Science. मान लीजिए if you have got 10 citations to your research paper. Citation means what? It is a reference to the source. मैं एक रिसर्च पेपर पब्लिश कर रहा हूँ, वो रिसर्च पेपर लिखते वक्त मेरे को उससे रिलेटेड कुछ 10 रिसर्च पेपर मैंने देखे, वो पेपर मैंने बना लिया. अब जब पेपर बना लिया तो आखिरी में रेफरेंसेज में, चूंकि मैंने उनके काम को देख के अपना काम किया, कॉपी नहीं किया, प्लेगरिज्म नहीं किया, उनका काम को देख के गाइडलाइन ली, तो मैं वो 10 ऑथर के रिसर्च पेपर को अपने रेफरेंस में क्रेडिट देता हूँ. तो वो हर एक ऑथर को एक एक साइटेशन मिल जाता है, जैसे मेरा पेपर ऑनलाइन हो जाता है. दैट इज अ साइटेशन. मीन्स citation is a reference to the source. You have referred 10 sources. You have sent your articles by putting the name of these 10 sources to give them the credit. At the end in the references, paper is published. The moment the paper is online, those 10 authors to whom you have referred in your references will get 1 citation each. That is a citation. Okay, तो अब आपके 10 citation अगर वेब ऑफ साइंस स्कोपस ने दिए हैं, अब वो 10 citation आप जैसे ही वेब ऑफ साइंस में डालते हैं, आपके 6 या 4 रह जाते हैं. वेब ऑफ साइंस खुद के पेपर को खुद का साइटेशन एक्सेप्ट नहीं करता. वेब ऑफ साइंस प्रोसीडिंग में पब्लिश किए हुए पेपर एक्सेप्ट नहीं करता. वेब ऑफ साइंस बुक चैप्टर नहीं करता, डेटा पेपर नहीं करता. Hence the Web of Science is stricter, and therefore if you go to IITs and the NIT for the interviews or the funding agencies of DST and all, they see Web of Science based impact citations. Next. How to calculate journal impact factor? Journal impact factor is another journal matrix. So if I want to calculate the impact factor, मतलब इस journal का कितना impact है market में, impact factor of 2020. What do? The total number of research articles or research documents published in that journal in 2 previous years. Means y if is 2020, then y minus 1 and y minus 2. So I have seen that 2018 citations were 846, publications were 354. 2019 citations were 1130 and publications were 634. Now add the total number of citations of 18 and 19 to calculate the impact factor of 2020. Add the publications 354 and 634. Find out the impact factor. Next. See there, the impact factor is 2. Next. What do you mean by the impact factor 2? हमने क्या किया? Total number of citations divided by number of articles published in that journal in those 2 years. 2020 का उस जर्नल का impact factor करना है तो 2 पहले साल लो आप, y minus 1, y minus 2. Okay? So what do you mean by the impact factor 2? क्या मतलब है? किसी जर्नल का impact factor 2 है, 0.5 है, 4 है, 5 है, क्या मतलब है इसका? What is the significance of this? This says that an impact factor of 2 means that on average the article published 1 or 2 years ago have been cited 2 times. Every article published in the journal, this journal, in 18 and 19 have got minimum 2 citations a paper. Next. This is 2-year impact factor. Similarly, it is 5-year impact factor. 5-year impact factor का भी वही है, कुछ जर्नल 2-year impact factor निकालते हैं, कुछ 5-year impact factor निकालते हैं. 5-year impact factor is supposed to be more consistent. Okay, कोई जर्नल अभी पॉपुलर हुआ है तो 2 ईयर का निकालेगा तो उसका इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर ज़्यादा दिखेगा, लेकिन जैसे ही उसका 5 साल का निकालेंगे तो हो सकता है इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर कम आ जाए. तो सम ऑफ द इंटरव्यूइंग एजेंसीज एंड द फंडिंग एजेंसीज कंसिडर 2-year इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर, सम ऑफ देम आर कंसिडरिंग 5-year इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर. ये 5 ईयर निकाल लिया. JCR का मतलब है जर्नल साइटेशन रिपोर्ट ईयर. Journal citation report year here is 2020. Journal citation report year is of 2020. Next. Immediacy index. This is also the journal matrix. The immediacy index is the average number of times an article is cited in the year it is published. पिछले 2-3 साल का नहीं, इस साल जर्नल पब्लिश हुआ है, इस साल आपके आर्टिकल्स को कितने साइटेशंस मिले हैं बताइए. See how important the citations are. The moment Professor Gulfam says that he has 100 citations, तो हमारी टीचिंग फ्रेटर्निटी में वहां सम्मान से देखा जाता है. Not IITs and NITs I'm talking about. People have 10,000 citations. But in our community of the self-financing institutions, 100 citation is considered as a good amount of value to that teacher. Understood? Next. See, immediacy index is citations to all items published in 2019 and articles का spelling गलत है, articles and review published in 2019. उसी साल के citation, उसी साल के publication, एक date ठहरा लेते हैं वो. Then it has got 0.48. Naturally, the impact factor will be less because the journal gets time to get popularized. Article gets time to be seen by the budding researchers. So that's why this is less. So immediacy index, impact factor are the journal metrics given by Web of Science. Next. नहीं ठीक है, next. Site score. This is another thing which is a journal matrix. Every journal writes on its front page इनका site score क्या है. Site score is equivalent to impact factor. Okay, but site score is a term of scopus. इसीलिए स्कोपस में वो पेपर आएंगे जो प्रोसीडिंग्स में भी कंसिडर होते हैं, बुक चैप्टर में भी कंसिडर होते हैं और डेटा टाइप के पेपर भी कंसिडर होते हैं. सो दिस इज मोर लिबरल. नेक्स्ट, मैंने लिखा है वो रेड कलर में प्रीवियस, वो देखिए ब्रैकेट में लिखा है आर्टिकल्स, रिव्यूज, कॉन्फ्रेंस पेपर्स, बुक चैप्टर्स एंड डेटा पेपर्स आर इवन एक्सेप्टेड बाय द स्कोपस, वेयर एज वेब ऑफ साइंस डज नॉट एक्सेप्ट इट. एंड दैट्स वाई दिस जर्नल मैट्रिक्स आइटम is given by Scopus. Don't get bored, my dear students. If you can understand what is Web of Science and Scopus, even that is enough for me. See, site score. 3 years site score है. तो 3 साल के citations कितने हैं और जिस साल में आप उसको गिन रहे हो, जिस साल में आप site score निकाल रहे हो, उस साल के कितने citations हैं. So, citation of 2019, तो 2019 भी आएगा. 18, 17, 16, divided by publications of 2019, 18, 17, 16. So site score is 51. So Nature Journal, ये Nature Journal का है. Nature Journal had a site score in 2019 of 51. Had this been converted into the impact factor of the Web of Science, will drastically reduce. Because Web of Science does not consider 3 items I told you. It only considers article and review article. Next. Now let us come to the author impact matrix. Author impact matrix, author is normally known by the number of research papers he has published in the Science Citation Index, SCI या SCIE, and the journals which are published in Scopus Index journals, papers which are published in Scopus Index journals. Number 1, SCI. Number 2, Scopus Index. Number 3 is the national journals like Institution of Engineers, or the journal papers which are published in the journal certified by Indian Citation Index. हमारे देश का भी इंडेक्स है ना, हम भी किसी से पीछे नहीं है, मतलब बहुत पीछे नहीं है. Indian Citation Index is there. Then the journals which are published in the proceedings, अभी जैसे इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई, इसकी प्रोसीडिंग्स निकलेंगी. इफ दिस प्रोसीडिंग्स इज इंडेक्स्ड बाय IEEE और Scopus, IEEE मत बोलिए, Scopus, IEEE is a publishing agency. If is indexed by Scopus, then that is at that number. Then the journals which are published in the UGC care listed journal. Journals तमाम पहले आएंगे, proceedings उसके बाद आएंगे. कोई भी research paper which has been published into the proceedings not indexed is not useful, simply waste of money. Nobody is going to consider in any of the interviews, nobody is going to consider any of the funding agencies, and if you show that I have published 10 papers, madam, paid में किए थे कि unpaid में? Sir, paid. They keep it aside. They do not give any values. Even saying that becomes a negative point in your interview. अच्छा ठीक है, paid में 10 किए, कोई problem नहीं. Unpaid में कितने किए? Sir, अभी तक तो नहीं हुआ. So that is very, very negative these days. See, paradigm shift. सोच बदल रही है, ठीक है? So it is a paradigm shift. Now the index. है ना, वेळ होत नाही ना? हां, तुम्हाला काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही, आम्हाला त्रास. हां, बरोबर आहे. But then I will appreciate that he started the program well before 10. The complete program was finished almost, मैंने वो टाइमिंग्स देखा तो 20-25 मिनट पहले खत्म हो गया. And therefore I got a space to speak more, because even if I start at 11:10, I will reach university by 12 when I have a meeting of academic council. So I will finish almost within 5 minutes. H index, टीचर ऐसा बोलता है लेकिन बोलते जाता है. H index, I index and G index. What is H index? If I have the H index, आप मेरा रिसर्च प्रोफाइल खोल के देखेंगे, पीबी महेश्वरी टाइप करेंगे गूगल स्कॉलर पे, I have 4 H index. What does it mean? Gulfam has got 10 H index, Anjali has got 15 H index. What does it mean? मेरे को कैसे समझेगा कि H index का मतलब क्या होता है? And this is the irony that we, the researchers, we, the teachers who are guiding the research students, do not understand this terminology. Even I was not at once upon a time, but then I have developed. I have taken the help of one of my research scholars, and we together have developed a 3 hours presentation on bibliography of the professional scientific communication. उसका एक छोटा सा पार्ट मैं आपके सामने बता रहा हूँ, समय नहीं है इसलिए. If I have 4 H index, it means that whatever number of research papers, research articles and review articles and research papers I have published, out of which the 4 research papers have 4 citations each. At least 4 research papers have 4 citations each. और होंगे, किसी में 3 होंगे, किसी में 2 होंगे, बहुत सारे में 1 होंगे, लेकिन आपके ऐसे 4 ही रिसर्च आर्टिकल हैं जिनको मिनिमम 4 साइटेशंस हैं, इसलिए आपका H index 4 है. Why his H index is 10? Can anybody tell me? Now the student, can his, Professor Gulfam's H index is 10. What does it mean? इतना तो पक्का है कि 10 से ज्यादा उनके रिसर्च आर्टिकल है. 10 से ज्यादा रिसर्च आर्टिकल है, this is sure. So, out of the list of the research articles which he has published, there are 10 research articles, each has 10 citations minimum at least. She has 15. Tell me now. Very good. From the list of her research articles, there are 15 articles which are having 15 citations minimum each. 15 ऐसे पेपर हैं जिनको कम से कम 15 तो है, 100 भी होंगे एक आदि को, लेकिन 15वां जो पेपर है ना उसको 15 ही है, इसलिए उनको H index 15 मिला. किसी को 100 भी रह सकते, और उसके नीचे उनको क्यों नहीं मिला H index 15 से ज्यादा? क्योंकि किसी में 14 है. 10 पेपर होंगे 14 के, लेकिन she cannot get it. अब छोटा सा ट्रिकी क्वेश्चन. She has got the H index 15. She has 10 more research papers. All the 15 हो गया, हाँ. 16th research paper has got 14 citations. 16th research paper has got 14 citations. Repeating, she has got 15 H index, मतलब पूरे research article की list में उनके 15 articles को minimum 15 H index है, लेकिन 16वें को 14 ही है. Now she wants that she should have the H index 16. 16वें को 14 है और उनको 16 H index चाहिए अभी, क्योंकि ये तो हम भी, हमारे H index तो हम बढ़ा सकते हैं ना, रिसर्च पेपर पब्लिश करके, इनको बोल के कि तुम मेरे पेपर को साइट करो, इनको बोल के कि तुम मेरे पेपर को साइट करो, है ना. ये भिखमंगेगिरी अच्छा नहीं है, लेकिन कई बार करना पड़ता है ना, क्योंकि इंटरव्यू देना है सामने. नाउ टेल मी, शी वांट्स H index 16. Her 16th paper is having 14 citations. When she will get 16? Huh? 16th पेपर में 14 के 16 हो जाएं तो इनको 16 मिल जाएंगे, लेकिन 15वां पेपर में तो 15 ही है ना. मिनिमम मैंने जो डेफिनेशन बताई वही यहाँ पे भी लगती है. minimum 16 research papers from the list of the research articles should have 16 citations minimum. All 16. All 16 research papers should have 16 citations minimum. अभी समझा, अब मेरे को लगता है कोई समझ गया. I10 इंडेक्स. नेक्स्ट इज I10. जब आप गूगल स्कॉलर में अपना प्रोफाइल बनाते हो ना, तो आपको व्हाट्स अ गुड नेम मैडम? रोहिणी बारे. हाँ, बारे. हाँ. So I feel amongst the audience she knows more about this jugglery. Okay. So why don't you deliver one session of half an hour to your colleagues by studying it more? If you want, I can support you from my side because I cannot come. हाँ, मॅडम करू शकतात असं मला वाटतं. हां, म्हणजे बाकी लोक करू शकत नाही असं नाही. त्यांचं एन्थुझिझम बघितलं मी आणि मला असं वाटलं की ते करू शकतात. हां, I10 इंडेक्स. I10 मीन्स इफ आई हैव I10 इंडेक्स 3. आप जब जाएंगे मेरे रिसर्च स्कॉलर पे तो मेरे को I10 इंडेक्स 3 है. मीन्स माई 3 रिसर्च पेपर्स इन द एंटायर लिस्ट हैव मिनिमम 10 citations each. बहुत सिंपल है. Minimum 10 citations each. Okay. Now, Barai madam has 10 I10 index. I10 index उनका 10 नंबर है. बताइए अभी उनके क्या है उनका, इसका मतलब क्या है? तुम ही बोलना का ना, या ना बोल दे. हाँ, I10 index 10 Barai madam. What is the significance? हाँ, very good. So she has 10 research papers from the list of her research papers having minimum 10 citations each. That is I10 index. G index बताने का वक्त नहीं है और थोड़ा complicated भी है और अभी हमें याद भी नहीं है. ठीक है, तो next time when I will come, I will have the full-fledged presentation or I will send the presentation. So Madam Barai, like other 2-3 people together, can give the presentation. This presentation also I am leaving here, so those who want to refer, they can. Thank you so much for the patient hearing and the opportunity given to me to speak on such a topic wherein we the teachers together can grow, our country can grow, our university can grow in terms of the number of citations, in terms of the number of research. Why we are known as that 27% of the research articles are published in the fake journals. The day should come when only 2, 3, 4, 5% of the journals, research papers should be published in the fake journals, not others. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for clearing us with how to choose best journal for research work and differentiating between the Web of Science and Scopus citations and I-index, H-index in a very simple way and also in a very short time. Thank you for all the clearance, sir. Thank you so much. Friends, as all good things come to an end, in ordinary life we hardly realize that it is only with the gratitude that life becomes rich. So, at this moment, I, Dr. Shruti, Organizing Secretary, ICITESHD-22, take pleasure and privilege to propose vote of thanks here. Firstly, I offer my gratitude towards our esteemed management, Lokmanya Tilak Jan Kalyan Shikshan Sanstha, for all the financial, technical, and every kind of support. Further, we are immensely grateful to our most valued chief guest of the program, Honorable Dr. Prashant Maheshwari sir, for raising the eminence of this event with his prominent presence and inspiring and very informative address where he has cleared us with how we can have a best journal for our hard and very, we can say, important research work. Thank you, sir. Thank you for all the insights. I convey my sincere thanks to driving force behind this conference, respected Principal Dr. Abhay Shinde sir, for arranging such an event and providing with this knowledgeful platform to all of us. Here I extend my thanks to respected Dr. Kavita Gaur ma'am, convener ICI-2022, for all the ideas, guidance and support. I equally thank to Higher Engineering Coordinator, heads of various departments, TNP officer, and for their all the valuable suggestions and precious time. My warm thanks are for all the teaching and non-teaching faculty members for their hard work and dedication for this event. And last but not least, I thank to all my dear student volunteers, Team ICITESHD-22 for their untiring efforts for bringing this event in success. Thank you one and all. Now, I request everyone to please stand up for a national anthem.
Before that, madam, if you can take the feedback from the students about today's session on metrics. I am not expecting they to learn too much, but then if they have understood the terminology.
Yes, sir. So can all of you, I request to please take your seats. Before national anthem, I request if anybody want to share their thoughts or are they clear with the today's topic? Okay. Okay, so sorry for the misunderstanding. I want to request all of you that you can fill your feedback in a Google form. The link will be shared on your groups. Thank you so much. Now, can we have a national anthem, please?
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you everyone. With this, I conclude inaugural ceremony ICITESHD-22 and I thank one and all present here. I request dignitaries to kindly proceed with the IT. Dear participants, we are starting a keynote talk in few minutes. So please be patient and keep calm and maintain the decorum of the event. Participants, we are starting a keynote talk very soon. A keynote talk is by Mr. Nipun Kurothe, Senior Manager, Audible Magic, California, USA, and he is joining with us through a virtual mode. Delegates and students. Students, can we maintain the decorum as we are soon starting keynote address, and our keynote address is by Mr. Nipun Kurothe, Senior Manager, Audible Magic, California, USA. Sir is going to talk about the blockchain technology, and we know that it is a very very important future technology. So, within a minute, Sir will be present here with his keynote address. Once again, a very warm welcome to all. Now it's time to move forward for a keynote address of the conference. Friends, I must say here, we rarely get this kind of opportunity to listen to the words of great knowledgeable speaker. And today we are fortunate to have Mr. Nipun Kurothe, Senior Manager, Audible Magic, California, USA. and it's my proud privilege to introduce him here. Mr. Nipun has pursued his B in Information Technology from Sardar Patel University, Gujarat. He did his MS Management and Information Technology from Santa Clara University, California. Sir has worked with various reputed firms on international level. He has started his professional journey as a software engineer with V2 Solutions Tech Venture. Then he has worked as a research assistant Santa Clara University. Further, he has joined XPL Communication as a software project developer. Then he moved to San Francisco Bay Area. He worked there as a computer programmer. Next, in 2014-15, he joined DropThought as a lead engineer. Then Sir was associated with Collard Token from 2018-16-18. Later, he worked with Clover Network, heading post of software engineer. And now, presently, Sir is working as senior software engineer at Audible Magic, California, United States. Friends, today we are favored enough that Sir has sparing his valuable time with us from his busy schedule, and he will be talking on a very burning topic of blockchain technology and its application. So, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting time, I request Mr. Nipun sir to proceed with his keynote talk. Please, sir.
Thank you for the introduction. And first of all, I would like to thank all the honorable dignitaries that were present. They just left before, and thank you so much. And I would like to thank everyone here who've given me a chance to present on some technology here. It's an honor. I'm going to share my screen. I just need a minute to share the screen. Once that is started, we can get started. So just give me a minute. Can you guys see the screen here?
Yes, sir. We can see the screen.
Okay, perfect. That's great. All right. Sorry for the technical delays. We're good now. So I'm going to present a brief discussion on what the blockchain technology is and its use cases. So let's just get started. So here's the agenda. I'll try to keep it short as possible. So I will go through what is blockchain, how it works, some of the definitions and properties that are there, which everybody should know about it, and the application and the use cases that it has. So before going to what blockchain is, I think pretty much everybody should and are aware of what the history is like Satoshi Nakamoto published that a white paper on 31st October 2008 about the Bitcoin, and since then it's all has like blown out of proportion. So just giving respect to that person, whoever that was, that whoever designed this technology. So let's go ahead and get into the definition of what blockchain is. So a blockchain is a distributed ledger of transactions stored as immutable blocks that are connected to one another, hence forming a chain, the validity of which has been agreed upon by peers on a decentralized network secured by cryptography. So there are a lot of terms over here. So I'm going to go over those terms in detail in the next slides. So let's just see like how it works, right? So I'm taking an example of Bitcoin over here. So let's say we want to do a transaction, right? So first thing what happens is you're requesting and authenticating that request for that transaction. So that transaction then becomes a block, and then that block is then sent to every node, which is nothing but participants in that network. So you could have a public network or you could have a private network for the blockchain. Then what happens is a node validates the transaction. So there is way of validating the transactions, which we will go into details later. For validating those transactions, the nodes which are there, they receive reward for the proof of work that is done. That rewards is normally or basically typically is cryptocurrency. Once that block is validated, only then it is added to the existing blockchain over here, and then it becomes immutable, right? You cannot change anything, like nobody can go and change this third one, right? It's once it is written, it is written. You cannot do anything more to it. Then that is update is distributed across the whole network. So here we had this network, right? So everybody over here gets updated that, hey, this new block has been added, and that is when a transaction is completed, right? So this is like how it works. There are like a lot of terms which are over here, so I'm going to go one by one about whatever the terms that we discussed right now. So first is transaction. Transaction just means a transfer of something from A to B. Now the transfer could be anything. It just doesn't have to be money or Bitcoin or anything. It can be other things as well, which we'll go into details later as well. Then a block is a place in a blockchain where the information is stored and encrypted. So your information would be uh, the address of the person who's going to transfer and things like that. Then there is node, which refers to the client who owns the block. Then there is something called as block reward, which is nothing but a new coins created with each block, which goes to the miners. So miners is nothing but, let me go back, is the persons who are trying to validate those transactions. Okay, so they burn the energy to create blocks, and they get rewarded for the block reward and the transaction fee. Transaction fees is again a small transaction that you would pay for validating that transaction. Then there is proof of work, which is a system that ties mining capability to computational power. When a block is successfully hashed, the hashing must have taken some time and computational effort, and hash block is considered a proof of work. So proof of work would basically be some kind of a computation that you would have to do to make sure that the transaction there, whichever is happening, is a correct transaction. Okay, So let's take an example of this to see, how this actually works. So let's say Alice here wants to transfer 10 bitcoins to Bob, right? So before going there, we have this information that Alice has two transactions where she has received 5 and 7 uh, bitcoins, right? So she has a total of 12, right? And so basically she has received this 5 and 7, right? So she needs to take 12 and she needs to send 10 to Bob. Transaction fees is going to be zero point 0.1 in this example, and herself would have 1.9 in change, right? So this excuse me, all becomes a block, right? Alice then specifies the amount, the Bob's address, her return address, digitally signs that transaction using a private key, right? So private key is nothing but a sort of key that you have just to yourself, and then you use that to create a signature which is secure, and whenever it is traveling through the internet, nobody can open it other than just. So that is again then sent into the network, right? And then the nodes, as we had shown in the first figure, where they would validate it to check whether Alice has that money or has she spent anywhere else. Because again, remember that the nodes always have the history of whatever Alice has done the transactions, right? Those blockchains are there that will tell that, hey, does she actually have 10 coins to send or not? Then again, those special nodes, which are called miners, they collect the valid transactions, and a bunch of them go into block and they start working. Then miners are given the rewards for their mining purposes. So mining, or basically figuring out whether the transaction is valid or not, or that proof of work that we talked about before, is nothing but is to solve a math problem or a puzzle. It could be like start hashing the information in the blocks until a particular type of hash is gotten. So this is just an example of what that math problem could be. Again, these math problems which are there, they are always not very easy, and they are I can say, resource intensive, in the case, you would have to use a lot of CPU power or a lot of memory, because it's again, it has to make sure that, you are doing that to make sure that the hash that is being created is secure, right? So once that is done, on success, you added the block to on chain and announce that block to the network with the transaction and the variable which puzzle is solved, right? Then, excuse me, that is then sent to peers, right? That's why others confirm when that is solved. And once that is done, only then, that transaction is basically completed, and then it's deemed irreversible. So again, nobody can go ahead and change this thing. So I hope this gives you a better understanding of what and how blockchain technology in a nutshell works. Let's go ahead and see some applications. Now, I know everybody knows about the application of cryptocurrencies, right? Like there are a lot of cryptocurrencies which uses this blockchain technology to do whatever they're doing. But apart from that, there are like a lot of other applications and use cases that this technology can be used for. So first thing is smart contracts. What they are is they are used to transfer any information that is there. So there's a company in US, Burst IQ, which uses this blockchain contracts to help patients and doctors securely transfer sensitive information. So I'm not sure if you guys are much aware of the HIPAA compliance that is over here in the US, and that is like considered very important, that you cannot, or the hospital has to make sure that they do not share any insensitive information about a medical patient, right? So you can use blockchain to have that sort of security between a doctor and a patient, where they can you know exchange information as and when needed, right? The smart contracts, they establish a parameter of what data can be shared, and they can even display details of personalized health plans for each patient. So that's like one of the application that you could do. Then there is Internet of Things, right? So we've heard about Internet of Things, and there were a lot of cases wherein, because of Internet of Things and they were not secure, uh, there were a lot of DDoS attacks. There were a lot of other attacks wherein they anything which had internet connection, like your smart cameras, right, or other things, they were being used just to have those sort of attacks. But there are now security companies like Hyper that thought the cybersecurity risk in IoT devices with a decentralized credential solutions. So by taking the password of a centralized server while using biometric and password-free solutions, the company makes ID device virtually unhackable. So there is Hyper, which is doing that. Then you have personal identity security. So in that as well, I know there is government offices in Springfield, Illinois. They use distributed blockchain ledger to enhance the security of things like the birth certificates, death certificate, voter registration cards, social security numbers, and much more. So all those documents which are there, they are again uh, secured using the blockchain technology, which is already in place. Then there are healthcare use cases as well. I know a company called Nebula Genomics uses the blockchain information gathered from an individual test, is totally anonymous and kept private through the blockchain based encryption. So in terms of research and all, right, like those who are in that field would know the importance of the research work that is being done, because you want to make sure that some things are very confidential for that research, right? So those things can be kept private using the blockchain encryption. And even the user's data can also be can never be identified or stolen if they are using the blockchain technologies. Excuse me. Then there is logistic use cases as well, and the big example of that is DHL. You all know DHL, right? They use blockchain technologies to keep a digital ledger of the shipments and maintain the integrity of transactions. So you know DHL, everybody knows it's a big company that uses this technology as well to make sure that, hey, whatever ledgers that they have of shipments and all those things, they are you know safe, one thing, and they are they have the integrity of their transactions as well. uh, Government use cases are also there. There is a company called Votes that is using an encrypted biometric security system, makes the secure it makes use of that security system to make sure that the voting on a mobile device is secure from anywhere in the world. And I know West Virginia, a state here in US, they have used this application in their elections. So for those people, those who were not in the US, right, and they wanted to vote, they could just use this application and securely uh, use that application to just cast their vote. So this is like, something which can be big and can be used everywhere around the globe as such, for making sure that, hey, the the voting is secure as much as possible. And there is one more application, which is Web 3.0. So starting from Web 1.0, what Web 1.0 was just like the start of the World Wide Web as we know right now, how it evolved. After that came Web 2.0, in which was highlights of user generated content, usability, interoperability, end user for the end users. So if I give you an example, Web 1.0 was the era of we going to the cyber cafes and logging into Gmail accounts or Outlook accounts, and then just talking, right? That was Web 1.0. Web 2.0 is more social, so all your Facebooks and Twitters, right, where and blogs and things like that. That is Web 2.0, where it's all user generated content and things like that. But Web 3.0 is like the latest technology that is there, which is in works right now, that leverages not just blockchain but also machine learning, artificial intelligence as well, to achieve a real world human communication. And they're trying to make it more secure now, to make sure that, hey, things like your personal information and other things, they just don't get stolen away, or just get into malicious hands, right? So people are working on that using the blockchain technologies to make this web which is there a little bit more secure than it is currently right now. There are other use cases as well. Like, if you just think about it, you can just apply this to a lot of other things, which are very beneficial to everybody around. So these, let's just not think about, whenever we think about blockchain technologies, we should just not think about the bitcoins and all your cryptocurrencies which is there. It's just one application that uh, you know is there, which is very popular right now. Yes, it is, but there are a lot of other applications that can be used. Um, and yep, that's about it. These are some references that I had used for creating this slides. And thank you, everyone. Uh,
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable insights on a very burning topic, blockchain technology. I'm very sure that all the doubts about this new future technology are very much clear. At this moment, on behalf of ICITESH 2022 and Priyadarshini JL College of Engineering, Nagpur, I extend my sincere gratitude to Mr. Nipun, sir, for accepting our invitation and enlightening us with a very simplified way about this vast and revolutionary topic. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I also thank to each and everyone here for your prestigious time. Now, onward, all the sessions will be conducted at sharp 1 p.m. on individual subject platforms, and link of the same will be posted on your respective groups. And now here, I wish all the participants, all delegates, and all research scholars productive and enjoyable conference. Thank you one and all. Thank you so much.